All right, everybody, welcome back. Good evening. We've got one more set of edge rushers to get through here before we are done looking at the free agency class. Not to say that we looked at everybody. There are a lot of guys. I skipped some. There are some that are going to go for even less money than this, but this is kind of the last group I want to get into. This is like the lower end of depth. These are the guys that you sign when you really don't have a lot of money left because you went all out to go get Max Crosby, and you just need a fourth guy who can maybe give you something. And there is a little bit of hope for upside with this crew, which is more than I can say for some of the guys that are even cheaper. But it's kind of a fool's hope, right? There's not much. All right, so last group, and then we will go ahead and move to another positional group tomorrow. But edge rushers, let's take it home, starting with Dante Fowler. Going to turn 32, might still have something left. All right, everybody, before we go any further into this video, I want to take a minute to tell you guys about the Sleeper app and some new functionality they've recently rolled out, Team Picks. With Team Picks, you can pick winners in all kinds of sporting events. Right now, we have NBA basketball, college basketball, NHL hockey is going on, baseball's going to start in a little more than a month, and of course, you have futures in the NFL, even though the games in the NFL are over. Right now, if you look to my left here, you can actually see you can bet on next year's Super Bowl winner. They've got the Seahawks leading the way in those odds, by the way, at 12%. How does that make you feel as a Seahawks fan? But you can bet on MVP, you can bet on draft picks, you can bet on player destinations, all kinds of fun stuff, even though the season is over. So that is Team Picks over on Sleeper. A lot of fun stuff you can do. Okay, so Dante Fowler, former third overall pick, very, very high pedigree, but that was a long time ago. Had a little bit of a weird career, kind of started to break out in 2017, but fizzled, got traded to the Rams, broke out again, went to Atlanta and kind of fizzled, went to Dallas and was pretty good, but went to Washington and then had a resurgence to 10 and a half sacks. And then he went back to Dallas last year and kind of went back to just being a decent replacement level player kind. Maybe a little bit better than that, but Dante Fowler, you're hoping that he has a little bit of gas left. Again, you're hoping that maybe he can reclaim a little bit of his 2024 form where he had the double-digit sack season. And you're hoping the Pro Football Focus might have a little something under the hood here because they graded him pretty well for 2025, even though the numbers were not great. And that's notable because the season where he had double-digit sacks, they did not grade him very well at all. So you're getting mixed messages here with Dante Fowler, and that combined with the age makes me definitely cautious. But it's not going to cost that much, probably. Dante Fowler comes in at 1 year, 5.1 million on Spotrac, which is, I mean, you're going to get $5.1 million of value out of Dante Fowler, I think, unless he gets hurt. But there's a little bit of hope for upside that I certainly wouldn't bet on. Same deal for Haason Reddick. This is another guy who's going to be 32 this year. Former first round pick as well, 13th overall, and he's been a good player in this league. He was part of that pass rush of death in 2022, where he was close to the best pass rusher in football. He had good years with the Cardinals and Panthers, and then after the Eagles traded him to the Jets, it's been tough sledding. He's got 3.5 sacks combined over the last 2 years, and now he's looking for his fourth team in 4 seasons, basically. Been a pretty steep fall for him. No indication of whether or not we can safely suspect that he has life left in him. It's going to be somebody's just going to roll the dice and hope. And Haason Reddick, Pro Football Focus, not high on his last season, not high on his previous season. You go back to 2023, and yeah, they're liking what they see with him there. That was when he was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. So, yeah, of course they liked him then. I don't know how much that really does for us now, but is there some life left in him? You get him on a good defense, you put him in a good situation. Do you get good stuff from Haason Reddick for 1 year? You won't have to pay that much to find out, according to Spotrac. They got 1 year, 4.9 million. I think that would be reasonable, but he's been such a nothing burger these last 2 years. You are really, really hoping that he finds himself in 2026 somehow. And It does happen sometimes a player finds themselves at 32, but not super often. Th this one, you're just gonna have to kick the tires on him and then make a decision. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be really tough to make that call, but, these are the decisions that John Schneider and Mike McDonald are gonna get paid a lot of money to make, and the reason why this team is currently a Super Bowl champion is because they made a lot of right guesses recently, so if they see life with him, then I can rock with it. Another former Eagle here with, Derek Barnett, was with them for a while, won a Super Bowl with them as a rookie, and then was a decent player for them for several years, and then eventually he went to Houston, and he's been pretty good for them as well. 5 sacks each of the last 2 seasons. Good player. Again, I don't know if he really is a 3-4 guy. Can he play standing up? It's hard to know. To my knowledge, every year of his career, he's been playing with his hand in the dirt. Maybe there was like 1 year where he didn't, but to my knowledge, he's always been a 4-3 guy, and I don't know if I would bet on a guy who is now gonna be 30 making the transition, and when sometimes guys who are much younger than that can't do it. So, it's just gonna be one of those things where, again, you're gonna have to trust the brain trust of this team to figure it out. It's hard for us to speculate when we've never seen him do it, but he's a pretty good player. Pro Football Focus graded him okay for 2025, 67, works. Year before that, they gave him a 74.6, so it's a good player. And for assorted reasons, they don't think he's gonna get a lot of money. They think he's gonna get, like, 1 year, 4.4. Personally, I think he's gonna get a little bit better than this, but the point is, he's not gonna cost a ton of money, and you can get him for a very reasonable cost that is gonna be a lot less than what you are looking at with somebody like somebody like a Boye Mafe, who produces about the same level. So why not? One final guy, and this is when you know you're getting a little bit short of options, Kyle Van Noy. Kyle Van Noy, now there is some intriguing stuff here. Was coached by McDonald in 2023 when he had 9 sacks, and has been a Raven the last couple years, had a Pro Bowl season out of kind of nowhere in 2024. He's been a guy that has played in multiple defenses before with New England and Miami, where they go back and forth between the hybrid 3-4 and the 4-3. Been a generally productive pass rusher for most of his career. There's plenty to like here with Van Noy, but last year fizzled out, only 2 sacks, not a lot of production, pretty disappointing on a disappointing defense. Gonna be 35. Can he keep doing it? Does he have 1 year left in him? If I'm gonna bet on it, then I need to have other stuff in the chamber that I really trust. And again, it's the Max Crosby, Myles Garrett level of trust, not the DeMarcus Lawrence level of trust. I I need that top edge to be one of the elite guys if Van Noy's part of my rotation, and you can see Pro Football Focus not impressed with him this last year. Now, the Pro Bowl year, sure, but there are red flags here that he is getting old, and you're just hoping he has a little bit of life left in him for 2026, but if he doesn't, it would not be a surprise. Botrack thinks he's gonna be cheap, 1 year, 3.5 million, totally fair. Would totally be willing to give Kyle Van Noy 1 year, 3.5. And I don't think this guy would chase a ring because he's got 2 Super Bowl rings from his time in New England, but I guess you can't completely rule it out. All right, see you guys later, go Hawks. That's it for the edge rushers. Let me know what you think. See you guys soon.